Generation Zero's EULA needs to change because systemic reactions are not consistent with its use. On May 27th, Tenebris Infinite released a video titled Generation Zero HUDless is the most immersive FPS experience. And Eeps Gaming 6 days prior released Day 1 in the Robot Apocalypse Generation Zero. What's so special about this videos is the inclusion of a no HUD mod, and according to Generation Zero's EULA, in section or paragraph 18, prohibited use, it states the following. Use of your own or third-party software to modify any content appearing within the game, its environment, or change how the game is played or services used. You may not modify any part of the game, or clients, services, etc. The only mod that is technically allowed and has been confirmed by an official GC moderator is Reshade. And while not stated, the reason is because Reshade acts as a visual filter between the game and the GPU, so it technically doesn't mod the game since it's post-processing. The line between visual mods and normal mods is relatively blurry with no HUD mod, as it does change the files, but still acts as a visual change, therefore can be defined as a visual mod. Still, it does change gameplay as it offers less information to the player that they would normally otherwise see. However, no HUD mod has yet to be confirmed as something that is allowed even though it mods files. The reason I'm saying this isn't to expose Tenebris or Eeps Gaming, for that matter. What I am doing, and this is gonna sound cringe, but call out Systemic Reaction, the company, for not being consistent with their use of the EULA when it comes to regular players and the content creators. I'll be upfront and say that I think GC is being handled in a very sketchy way in its current state. Some of it I've already talked about in past videos, but honestly I can't be bothered to talk about it since no one will listen anyway. So today I only want to focus on the EULA, since it contains things I believe reflect the game's current direction. Now, there is more things about the EULA I would like to talk about, but that comes later and isn't important to the main subject. As to why Systemic Reaction will look the other way for content creators is money. Tenebris has essentially become the Generation Zero YouTuber, and Eeps Gaming releasing a Generation Zero video exposes their far bigger audience to a lesser known game, which would bring in interest and potentially more sales. However, the slight danger of these videos is neither Tenebris or Eeps Gaming communicating that mods are not allowed in the game, and has the risk of you being banned for using mods. Or potentially worse. With the Eeps video, it isn't all that obvious because not everyone playing is using a no-HUD mod. However, Tenebris announces directly in his video that it is about a mod. Alright, Editor Jojo here. Hey, hello again. So, Tenebris made another video titled Generation Zero Biggest Mod. To summarize, it's a big-ass balance or helper mod that is as it is titled on Nexus mods. Compared to no HUD mod, this one changes the game in dramatic ways. With this one, I do think Tenebris should have done research and informed his audience of the EULA and its risks. I really wanted GC mods to be a thing without fearing the EULA, but unfortunately, that's not where we are right now. Truth is, right now it's technically not allowed. I don't mean this as an extremely harsh criticism, however, when you essentially say, hey guys, mods are a thing, you should use them and download them, not really mentioning the EULA and it really sketchy fucking ways, I think it's a problem. Now back to the video. Reckless is perhaps too much when describing it, so maybe loss of some integrity of the devs. I mean, they seem more interested in selling cheap DLC weapon packs and slowly turn a free feature into a paid one than actually spending time trying to develop the game and its story in a meaningful way, plus fixing years-long bugs before selling us new DLCs. But why make effort when I can make money? Shit, I went off point again. So, what's interesting about this is how Eeps Gaming got the permission to mod a game. On April 3rd, the thread Cinematic Questions from Eeps Gaming was posted, asking how to turn off the HUD and break the camera away from the player and mod some skins in. And the general response by the forum members, me included, was no, it breaks the EULA. Modding is not allowed. Later on, Carney, a Systemic Reaction community manager for Second Extinction and a moderator for Generation Zero, answered and made it possible for Eeps to get in contact with the developers. We can't really confirm what they agreed on and what went down, but seeing as Eeps did release a Generation Zero video featuring mods, then it's safe to say they got permission. To me, this whole thing is really confusing. The community have asked for an official no HUD setting for years, but nothing has happened. Can't be that hard to make, right? I mean, you don't have to give us official mod support or even let us use them. Just add this feature already. Shit, I know that made me sound like a spoiled fucking child, but you look bad with the double standards. But I guess it's easier to make low effort paid packs with no substance than a toggle feature. Either let us mod the game or make sure everyone must follow the same rules set by the EULA, be it if you're a content creator or regular player. Now you're just setting up a trap, letting people think they can mod the game, but instead they could get banned instead. And I think that is extremely reckless and sketchy. Every time updates got delayed, we were promised more and more transparency over the years. I think this is the case where we need proper communication and this going somewhere other than, I will ask on Monday. Oh, yeah, shit, I almost forgot about something. I almost forgot to mention about the Generation Zero wiki page, which has a modding section, by the way. And oh, would you look at that? Oh, no HOD mod is listed under visual mods. But that's weird. I thought no HOD wasn't allowed. Now hang on a second. Is that a hard mode balanced mod I spy? Now that's strange. Mods that change how the game is played is very much not allowed. But then here Carney says there is a no HOD mod back in 2019. So is no HOD mod allowed? But then 2 years later it's not allowed? Rules haven't changed though. Do you see how this is confusing? The EULA says one thing. Discord/forums, one thing, and Wiki, one other fucking thing. And oh, yeah, what is that? Oh, looks like the Wikipedia is run by official members of the Generation Zero's moderators team. So what is it? Can we mod the game or not? Is no HOD a visual mod? Can we just have an exact and detailed answer that is reflected on the rules of every Generation Zero site, platform, and the goddamn fucking EULA, which doesn't lead to endless confusion? Shit, you're not even allowed to discuss mods on the Discord. Rule J may indicate that, but it's very fucking vague. Please, just be transparent. Otherwise, things could get bad. But honestly, I don't think System Reaction cares when their EULA gives them a legal way out of everything. This is the end of that section, but there's a little more. However, feel free to skip this section if you want. Don't worry, while it talks about the EULA, it's more about me raising questions about parts of it. Section 5, or I don't fucking know, paragraph 5. System Reaction reserves the right to add, modify, or delete/cancel the game, including your access to the game at any time. Systemic Reaction makes no representation or warranty as to the completeness or accuracy of the game, nor does it represent or warrant that the game will be available at all times, or at any time. The game may be incomplete, may contain errors, etc. Systemic Reaction makes no commitment and expressively disclaims any duty to fix any errors or lack of functionality in the game. The game is provided on an as-is basis, without any express warranties. You know, what's funny here is that Generation Zero was advertised as a finished product. I mean, it must be, since a collector's edition was released. How many early access games have a collector's edition? Although the website, the next chapter, more or less states it's an early access game, just hidden beneath marketing terms to give the illusion that it's a finished product, but more will come. Maybe it's the legal speak, and perhaps this is normal for every game. But this doesn't sound like they take Generation Zero as a product seriously, if they at any point can remove the game and or access to it. I mean, you could argue they already have, with updates just changing a lot of things. To me, this is fishy, because I certainly smell bad fish here. If the game's reviews and public opinion went south, they do not have to take responsibility, at least legally. Generation Zero has and is continuing to become bloated with lackluster and chase-trending features that don't make the game interesting and challenging in any way. Despite being released as a free feature, the base defense continues to be monetized and has essentially a paywall. Weapon packs are uninspired, and now there's even a fucking pitchfork. I can't believe that I actually predicted it. Look, the US pack isn't that bad. I mean, it's still fucking awful, but it seems that the GC devs are open for meta items being paid items with no quest tied to them. It's not something we can let grow bigger, or else we would probably get an experimental fork that can float and like shoot lightnings and shit. Well, not 100%, but almost. The game has been out for 3 years. That is a long time, but somehow the game isn't evolving to something good. It's changing for the sake of change, because why commit to effort when you can just milk what apparently works? And that is disappointing, because Generation Zero clearly had an idea before Phoenix Rising. But now the story is lazily developed in text collectibles. Instead of making the map feel immersive, they continue to blow it up and change the context to its story. Release weapon packs with mixed opinions that are not even balanced for an RNG simulator, with no substance and variety. Anyway, on to the final part of the EULA for this video. 8. Notwithstanding the foregoing, you may stream and record your playing of the game on channels like Twitch, etc., provided that such is done in good taste and does not infringe the intellectual property rights of Systemic Reaction or reflect negative on Systemic Reaction or the game. So this sounds pretty normal. Don't be an asshole. However, it also describes reflect negative far too fucking vague. What is considered negative? An honest and reasonable review containing criticism could be seen as negative, since it could possibly lead to people watching the video not wanting them to buy the game. It's so vague a Discord or forum moderator, hell, even the company itself could brand something as negative just because they don't personally agree with it. This part of the EULA doesn't take into consideration what's actual harassment and well-meaning criticism, instead pitting criticism and feedback in a bad light. If we go back to 18, prohibited use, you will not exploit any bug in the game, and you will not communicate the existence of any such exploitable bugs that grant the user unnatural or unintended benefits, either directly or through public posting, to any other user of the game. Bugs should be promptly reported to, I don't fucking know that email address that's on the screen. I don't feel like reading it. The forums and Discord makes this irrelevant. I mean, sure, this rule is actually well defined for once, but considering how buggy and messy the game was at launch, and is still, to some extent, makes it a hard rule to follow. Because Discord and the forum are public posting. It's public, everyone can look at it. So I just don't get it. What? This video was initially meant to be a review of new content and talk about my brief but interesting experience as a beta tester from around the time the Resistance update came out. But my interest is so fucking little. It would be too much work for so little return. Who even fucking listens to this anyway? The EULA is a thing that I believe is very important to discuss, and more people should be aware of it. Thank you for watching.